Hey y'all, welcome to Prestige Cash Club. I'm Cece, your savings promoter, and here at the club, we party with pennies and turn your savings into a VIP lifestyle. So join the club and follow for more VIP tips and tricks. Y'all, we are doing our budget for the second week of August. And when I say August has already come in like a tornado, like the storms that we have been getting over the last few weeks, it's just been a whirlwind. When I say work has been busy, home has been busy, extracurricular activities have been busy. And on top of that, I decided that I wanted to start being a content creator and do cash budgeting on film. So on top of all of that, I now got to still find time to fit filming in because that's important to me. And honestly, the reason why I started this whole kind of content journey here on YouTube is because I wanted to make sure I was still holding myself accountable. And for me, because I do my budgets all the time, it started to feel just routine, redundant. And I love cash stuffing so much that I didn't want the fun to be taken out of cash stuffing for me. And so I pretty much was like, okay, what do you do to make sure that you're still staying into this? Because when I say cash stuffing has literally changed my budgeting life and how I think about money and how I budget my money and how I hold myself accountable for my spending, that I do not want to fall off. I do not want it to start feeling just old. And so this was my way of saying, if you are committing to something and you want to show up for not only yourself, but for others, this just makes me ensure that I'm doing it. So although it's been a busy week, y'all, and guess what? The good thing about a busy week is before we start our actual budgeting, we're going to start with our wallet. Y'all, we're starting with our wallet. And because it's been so busy, I literally haven't even had time to spend money. I have not been many places this week. Thus, my wallet is still pretty full. Now, I will say I did step out last night. It was a Friday night, and I had been in the house pretty much for the majority of the week. And I was like, you know what? I'm stepping out. I'm stepping out for a few minutes. And so we did spend a couple of dollars in our weekend fund category, but for the most part, that's almost about it. Now, you guys also know we took our gas money out right away because remember, I told you guys that I have been receiving these gas cards from the casino. And I'm going to do a whole little series on kind of how you budget with extracurricular activities, if you will. Just because you guys know my motto in life is you literally can do whatever you want in life as long as you budget for it, right? You want to buy Gucci bags and go on expensive trips and pop bottles and, buy boating material because, no matter what your hobby is, everything costs money. So if you even live a simple life and you're like, oh, I don't like to do anything but go fishing on the weekends. Well, guess what? I have a fishing family, and tackle and new poles and all of those hobbies, they still get expensive. But I say all of that to say, literally, every now and then, I like to make a stop at the casino. And because I make a stop at the casino, they give me perks. And one of those perks for the month of August have been giving me gift cards for gas. And so I have yet to use this gift card from last week. And there's a new gift card that's coming up for this week. So we will have gas for the next couple of weeks where that money for gas, we will be able to immediately just roll that money over into our savings. And that's super exciting. So let's see what we have left in our wallet for this week. And let's get our cash tray. So we still have $25 in my personal spending. Groceries, we did use all the money and we already put that into our bills binder so that that can go on our card. Gas, as I mentioned, we stuffed that right away, and we will be using a gift card to fill up our tank this week. And I will have two, so that will be $50 going into our tank. We still have our $25 in house stuff. And you know what? I might reallocate this, y'all. Y'all know I depleted my house stuff binder. I'm going to put that back there. I might just put it directly into my house stuff sinking fund. Beauty, we did not do anything. Beauty, we've been kind of keeping our hair the same. I do want some braids soon, so I probably need to figure that out, budget for that properly. Or I might need to start rolling over this beauty fund so that I have enough money to do that, and then I don't have to worry about beauty for a little while. Eating out, we still have our $25 from eating out because we didn't go anywhere to eat out. Now, I mentioned weekend fun. We did use that last night, and it was fun, and I did use the $25. So we usually have $25 in weekend fun, and that's empty. And then finally, date night. And I didn't use anything in date night. Do we have anything in our... Oh, we actually did use our tips and miscellaneous for something. So that's our wallet for this week. So let's see how much we will be rolling over this week. So we have 50, 20, 40, 60, 80, 150, 60, 75. Nice. So we have 175 that we're going to roll over. Actually, before we go any further, let's do this. Y'all, what should we do with this 25? Should we put it in house stuff? No, let's roll it over. Y'all, before I go further, I have to show you my new friend. Y'all know I'm a football girly, and it is officially preseason. So y'all know I have been telling y'all that I was going to show y'all my little binder that I was working on for football season. And if you don't know, I am a football girly like through and through, and has only intensified over the years. I also run a fantasy league at both my job and for our family fantasy league. And so this is my football binder. So two things. So as you guys know, with our leftover money, I do a few things, right? Sometimes we fund our month ahead. Sometimes we put it in a savings challenge that we run for a couple of months. And then when all of that money accumulates, we put it in our sinking funds. Sometimes we literally reallocate that money right to something that we want to do. So it's kind of a toss up. But one of the things, let me show you the binder. Look, y'all. So this paperclip I got from Budgeting with Liz. These are some football kind of patches that I got from Amazon. This is a paperclip that I made for the binder. And then these are all challenges that I made because I wanted to have enough football challenges. There's also one, so remember I told you about my little extracurricular activity, right? So here is my casino and sports betting envelope. And the reality is when football season comes, I like to throw in a sports bet or two just to keep the football game fun for me that day, in addition to our fantasy league, etc. And so I ensure that my having fun doesn't get out of control. Usually this is in my low priority binder. And what I literally do is I budget for the money that I want to spend on extracurricular activities. And then what happens is when that gets to the amount that I want to spend, or if I want to take out $50 out of it, etc., I do that. And then hopefully I win, right? And then there's more in the kitty. And then I can repurpose that money. So this is a good way when I say, how do you budget and have extracurricular activities? This is one way. It's the same thing if you are saving for a designer bag, or you're saving for a trip that you want to take, or you're just saving for something that special. You want to go to a concert, right? So those are things that you can literally say. You don't have to cut those things out of your budget because you're budgeting. You just have to make sure your budget is allowing for the lifestyle that you want to live. And so for me, it's times where I want to go to the casino. Y'all, and I'm saying it like that on purpose. I don't want people to be like, why is she saying it like that? There was this young girl actually on TikTok, and she kind of puts this older Asian lady filter on. And well, she's Asian as well, but she's a younger girl. And so, but you know, the stigmas that the old people go to the casino. And so she always does little song mixes about going to the casino. So that's where I got that from, before y'all was like, this girl is crazy. She can't say casino right. If you can't say it right, you shouldn't be going. So I say all of that to say, this is going to be our rollover for the month of September. As you guys know, football season starts in September. Preseason started this week, baby. We had our first preseason game this Thursday. It was awesome to hear the da-na-na music come in for the NFL. But pretty much what we're going to be doing is, in this leftover binder, we're going to be saving all of our leftover money. We're not going to start that today, but I just want you to know what's going to be happening probably September, October, etc. And once this binder is full, it's going to go to a couple of things. It's going to go to our sports betting. It's going to go to, you guys also know I like to go to sporting events. I am saving toward my next sporting event for the season. And so this money may go toward that. This money may go to something that I want to buy for our league, etc. Right? So all of my football shenanigans will happen in here. I might also repurpose, as you guys know, I do Mini Monday and Tiny Tuesday. I might decide to repurpose those games and play in this binder during that period until. So, you know, we're going to be using this binder for the football season. It may be in a few ways, so I don't want to limit myself in just any one way. But I wanted to just show you how, again, for me, this is what keeps it exciting. I look forward, like I want to put money in this binder. It's beautiful. And the crazy part is I don't even like yellow. Purple, as you know, is my favorite color. But my team is the Green Bay Packers. And as you guys know, I live in Chicago. And here in Chicago is the home of the teddy bears. And I will say, people are like, how did you become a Packers fan? And the reality is, I fell in love when I first started watching football. And this is just the reality. We just gonna be, clearly we're having a confessional Saturday, y'all, before we budget. But when I first started really getting into football, maybe around 19, the guy who I was dating at the time was a Green Bay Packers fan. And the reality is, he watched sports so much that it was pretty much like I either got on board or it was going to clearly be a problem in our relationship, because it was like when he wasn't watching ESPN, he was watching a game. Sundays was off limits. Like, it was just the whole thing. And I'm like, we're going to break up. Like, clearly we're going to break up. But in me being a team player, I was like, let me just check this thing out. Always a very competitive person, always a very hyped, high energy person in general. And so being around the sport of football just ignited that. And I learned early on, I was like, man, I like this. And I end up falling in love with the rivalry between the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers more than the teams. So then over the years, my fandism just grew. And, you know, I became a proud Green Bay Packers fan over the years, and have been a Packer fan literally probably almost 25, 30 years at this point. And I love it. I love it. I love it. So I said all of that to say, that's why my binder is yellow and not some shade of purple or gray. But it was either green or yellow for me representing my Packers team. I don't want to put the cheese on here, y'all, in case I want to repurpose it. But that's the story of my football binder. So now we're going to put this money into our leftovers. We're going to do a couple of things. Thing one is, you guys know we are doing our Q3 challenge. So let's see what's the next section. We got 45 to finish this row. So let's plan 45. All right, so we got 45 going into our quarterly challenge. And this is literally, guys, this is how I save the money. If you guys follow me, and make sure you follow me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, you guys see that I do this Q3 challenge on my Reels and Shorts. And we are literally saving $1,000 together. This is me showing you that you don't have to try to catch up with people who've been budgeting and stuffing from years and months, and they have all of this money saved up over time. You can literally start today. We just started this challenge in July, and I do try to budget and allocate for this challenge every week and put money towards it. And as you can see, if I have extra money, I put it toward it. Or if we are budgeting for our money, I'll budget for a little heart. And that's all you do. You just take what you can and you put it to the side, and before you know it, you'll have $1,000 or $500. And if you want to join us, it is not too late. Just because we are in August, you can start today. And if you can't save $1,000, save $500, save $250. Just save something. And then you decide what you want that money to go toward. If you want it to go towards your emergency fund or something fun, or you just want to try out saving to see if you can do it, just do it. And if these numbers are too large for you, you can add them together. You can multiply them together. So here, if you can't stuff $45 into this heart, multiply it. Save 20 or add it. Save 9. You can modify anything, any budget to fit your income and your budget. So this is how, we are saving for our Q3 challenge. All right. We also want to put some money into our month ahead, because this is not a paycheck week, and I do not fund month ahead on non-paycheck weeks. All right, y'all, we got our month ahead binder. Let's see what we need in our month ahead binder. Okay, so to fill a section, a square. So what I usually, y'all, I never went back and put the money. Y'all, what am I doing? Okay, so to fill a square, we need $30. And then I like to give the other sections a boost. So this would be 35, 45. All right, let's put 45 into our month ahead. And y'all, that'll give us one step closer to saving $720 for our utilities. And this will get us 2 months ahead on our utilities. So we said, we know we need 30 for this section. And then we want to give these last 3. So as you guys can see, we only have car, variables, and rent and mortgage left. So here, let's add this. Y'all, am I messed? Okay. Look, it's all savings. $15 is going in here. And as you see, we can't check off an icon until we have $125 for this one. And this will give us 2 months of rent and mortgage. And that's my portion of it. So 20, 30, 40, 50. So not quite yet. But and this has come literally, when I say whenever I come in here, I give it a $5 boost. That's it. And then we do the snowball method. And by the time we finish a category, the extra money that we would put into the first one gets rolled into it. So this one has 20, 30, 40, 50 as well. And we can't check one off until we have $72 on this one. And y'all, I'm still trying to figure out if I like this way or 1 month at a time. I feel like I like 1 month at a time. This one's getting $5 and we need $42. So this one has 20, 35. They should each have the same amount, which means I messed up. I bet you that $5 that I put in here was supposed to go in here. Yeah. 20, 30, 40. This one should have 52. I don't know. Let's just, you know what? Look, we saving for a month ahead. And guess what? It's rollover money. This money was supposed to be spent. So whatever I do with it, it's my prerogative. We're checking one off, y'all. This is a win. And this is for a car payment. And we will save $1,000 once we're able to check these off. All right. I don't know if I'm going to be coloring them cars in like that, but we're going to see. So we were able to color one car off. That's awesome. And I'm telling you, just that progress of shading one end, man, I can't tell you. It's amazing. All right. And so we got another $30 going into our utilities. This is the current one that we're saving for. But the important thing is the job is getting done. All right. While that dries, put that right there. So currently we have $20, $40, $60, $80, $100, $10, $20, $35, $135 toward our $720. And this, again, will get us 2 months ahead on our utilities. And what I did, y'all, was I took the largest amount. So as you guys know, it's summertime right now. And so these amounts are low. But during the wintertime, I took the highest bill that we typically get. And I multiplied that because you at least want to have saved. You know, you don't want to only have $300 saved when you can get a $400 bill in the wintertime. All right. Last but not least, we got $50, $90, $100 left. So as you guys know, in this binder, I also have our 2026 challenge, which goes towards our Roth IRA and our investing. This challenge will help us save $2,026. And we got some catching up to do, y'all. So why don't we take this 50 and let's add this 50 where we can. So that's a 60. Let's add it for June. And that's 50 more toward our Roth and our investing. And again, this is just little savings to save toward the things that we need to. So here we have 1, 2, 20, 40, 60, 83, 20, 40, 60, 84, 20, 40, 60, 85, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 600. Look at us, y'all. Look, we behind. We supposed to be over here in August. But that's okay, because guess what? We're saving. We're saving. So sometimes it's slow and steady. And sometimes we get a little extra. And part of the problem is I will have a lot of these challenges done. I just have so many challenges, y'all, because I just think they're fun. And I want to keep it interesting for me. This is our Buzz Around challenge. And we usually play this with our savings games. But I really want to finish this one. I would like to finish it in Q3, maybe. If not by the end of the year, maybe it'll be an extra boost for our New Year and Christmas savings. But right now we're on round 5. And round 5 has a variety of numbers. And so this one is 25, 20, 25, 20. I should have cleaned these off, y'all. You see me writing over them. 20. All right. So let's put the rest of the money in here. Let's do the 25 slot. Let's do the 25 slot. This is a slow and steady one. Unless you do very small numbers, this one will take you a little while to do. And let's fill this 25. All right, so $50 going into the buzz around. And this one is inspired by Salisa with Beautiful Budget Co. She has her official version in her shop. You can find it on Etsy. I'll try to link it below, but this is an inspired one that I did some time ago when I really wanted to play the game and she wasn't making them that often. So this is my buzz around challenge. All right, y'all, we spent all of our rollover money. We've reallocated that. That felt awesome. Now let's get into this budget for week 2. For our budget for week 2, we already know that we are here on the first week of August. We've completed. We know that we're just checking bills that need to be paid before the next payday. So we got our cell phone that's going to be due. We also have the extra phone payment that's going to be due. We have our Amex that's due on the 20th. And so we need to think about those while we're planning for the next 2 weeks, although we're just planning for next week, which is the week of the 9th. Also, y'all, I neglected to fill out my wallet tracker. And as you guys know, I like to do this as just another way to track my spend. This is going to be from 8/1 through 8/14. And this is going to be from 8/15 through 8/29. This is our first week. So as we know, this is what we budget bi-weekly. And this is what we have weekly in our wallets. And so as you guys know, we have all of our money left with the exception of grocery and weekend fund and miscellaneous. So all of the rest of the money for this week got all saved. And so here I like to identify whether I rolled it over, kept it in that category, or put it in a sinking fund, or saved it. And so we saved, how much did we save, y'all? We saved, was it $195? Let's see, it should add up. Well, remember, we saved the $50 in advance. So 25 plus 50 plus 25 plus 75 plus 25 plus 50. So it would have been 250. So it would have been 200. Well, we'll just put the 250 because we did say the 250. We just did that off top because we knew that we had the gift card. So we just wanted to jot that down. Usually I do it at the same time of my wallet, but I didn't want to forget to do that. Okay, let's jump into our budget for the second week of August. This pay period, we are budgeting, it's more like $1,100 and something, but we're going to just round it to $1,200 because we do have a couple of extra dollars. So we're going to say $1,200 for this week. So that amount is going to go here. So even though we are a month ahead, I still stuff my bills based on how they would be paid to ensure that I have the money there. So right now in our bills binder, we're stuffing for September. August is all paid up. And so our cell phone bill would have technically been due during these stretches of payment. So we're going to make sure that we're stuffing $65. And let me make sure that I didn't stuff that last week because, and y'all, and sometimes this is the reality, right? Sometimes you got to go back to your budget. Look, I did. See, I forgot just that fast that I already did it. So that money will be the extra. Remember, I told you guys I have an extra cell phone payment that's being made. So we're going to do this amount plus 35 to make it 100. You know what? Let's just. And so Put $100 in that one. Utilities, let's do $50. And subscription needs $50. Want to do IRS $75 and a debt payment of $75. Okay. So let's see. That's 65 plus 100 plus 50. So we have 415 into bills. And let's deduct that from our 1,200. So we have 785 left. We have our normal variables. So I get 25, miscellaneous gets 10, groceries get 75, gas gets 50. And remember, we're still budgeting for gas, and that's going to immediately go into savings. House stuff gets 25. Nails, we will be coming up on nails soon, so I will be budgeting for nails. And beauty will get 75. Eating out will get 25. Weekend fun gets 25. And date night gets 50. So that's 35 plus 75 plus 75 plus 60 plus 75 plus 100. So we have 420 minus our 785. So that gives us $365 left. You guys know I like to hop over, and we're going to do $100 in our 100 envelope. And our minis and tinies for the week, that's $100. And then our savings challenges is $125. Y'all, this is what we have left to put in sinking funds. Crazy work, but that's the reality, right? So let's figure out where we want to. Now, you guys know, under any means necessary, I'm getting clearly not $25, but I will get 10 this week. Nothing for a month ahead in emergency. You see, we just added to month ahead. Travel won't get anything. 6-month insurance, we'll do $10. Ish happens, will be skipped. Car maintenance, we'll do $10. And house stuff, y'all, $10. And that's our $40. And sometimes this is the reality of budgeting. And that's why I love to go to my savings next, because I don't want to load my sinking funds. And this is money that we're expecting to spend. But savings is more important to me. And as you guys know, we have a $30,000 savings that we're trying to do for 2026. So right now, we are at about $17,500. And this is just savings. This is not sinking fund. This is literally savings. And we're trying to hit this goal. No, we will hit this goal by the end of the year. And so that's why savings is super important to me. And so here we should have a zero-based budget. And that's it, y'all. That's our budget. Y'all know I do my denominations off screen, so I'll fill all of the information out here so that I know my denominations to go to the bank and get our money. And we're going to be ready to cash stuff, y'all. I hope you guys found this video entertaining, informative, and just a good old time to help you cash stuff and see how you can work your budget and see how sometimes it don't always come out pretty. And make sure you're following Prestige Cash Club for more savings tips and tricks.